Welcome to the Bookworm Woodmaking channel. I started this channel because when I first started woodworking, I didn't have a creative bone in my body. And I resolved into getting books to be able to make things. So I started this series to be able to show you that you don't always have to look at YouTube to get patterns off of somebody's website or to download free plans or to even pay for those plans. You either go to the public library or you can even go on to Amazon and order the books. Today's project comes from a book called 201 Woodworking Patterns. Now this is a bound set of useful and decorative woodworking patterns. I actually love this book because there are so many interesting designs and things to make inside of this book. Right now I actually have a purpose on what I'm going to be making here, and that's my nephew's girlfriend is pregnant. She's due in a couple of months, and she's going to have her baby shower at the end of this month. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to make her a little baby sleeping pattern here. So that's what we're going to do today. The first thing that we need to do is make a copy of the pattern out of the book. Simply lay it right on your little scanner, or you can pop down to your copy center and actually have them make the copy, or you can even make the copy. Want it in black and white. The next thing is to cut this out. Now, you don't have to be really delicate cutting this out because it's going to go on a slab of wood, and we're going to trace this pattern out onto the slab of wood. However, the one piece you do want to be careful about is this bottom piece right here, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. So we're going to cut this out, and then very carefully we're going to cut out as close to that bottom piece as possible, keeping right on that line. I'll go ahead and cut the second one out. Now the first thing I want to do with this piece of wood here, and I'll show you, it's not level, which doesn't make a difference right here because once you cut it out the pieces are going to self-level. But as you can see, it's a little bit rough. Matter of fact, it even has some cracks in it. So again, you don't need to use perfect wood when you're doing a project. So I'm going to do a quick sand here. Obviously you can tell that this board has been with me for quite some time. It was a cutoff of something. Now, the next step is to bring along my patterns here that I have. And I'm going to try and put these in the most advantageous place that I can. As you can see right here, unprofessional camera thing here. Hang on. What I want is I want this bottom line in edge with this. So when I cut this shape out, I can use the natural edge of the milled wood as the base and not have to do any kind of sanding or any kind of recuts. So with that, we're going to lay our carbon transfer paper. Get it right into place, and then it's a matter of taping it down. And a simple trace out. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the trace out. I'm pretty sure that you kind of know at this stage how to trace something out. Now, as you can see, there it is, traced out, and the other one is right there traced out. Now, you don't have to burn two copies. You can still use the same copy. I just didn't want to have to do the transfer. Now, one thing to notice is when I start to paint this, all of this design in here is going to disappear. So you want to keep your carbon paper and your pattern together, so once this is painted, you can fill in all the little details by retracing again. Now it's time to cut these out. Well, battery burnt out while I was cutting, but that gives you a general overview of how easy it is to just cut it out on a scroll saw. Just the outside pattern. Now I'll go ahead and cut the other one, and then all I need to do is just clean up the edges by sanding them a little bit. After mixing up my paint, what I want to do is I want to try and get in and paint one pink and one blue. Naturally, I have the camera pointed in the wrong direction here, but it's raining outside right now, so I can't really adjust the camera the way I want to. Now, as you can see, the paint is actually covering up all the drawings that were on that side. So I'll have to lay down the carbon paper and retrace everything. I guess of all things, what you can do when you're doing this is to just trace the general outline of it. and leave all the details off until you have it painted. Now that the edges are done, I can finish painting the rest of this. And yes, I do want to get the edges as well. Careful not to leave any blotches. So the next is to paint the wings and of course the face, and we're just going to paint right over it. You know, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but I can still see a little bit of the writing. There you go. Oh, gotta get the bottom. And the tops. And it's nice using some of this little butcher block here. I could just pour out my paint that I need and be able to take care of things. Now it always comes as an issue as to, well, I can see where I was off a little bit, but that's okay. The nice thing about this is I'll be able to paint it and cover up a lot of the screwy marks I got on here. So the first thing I want to do is get the yellow in. Put a little bit of yellow there. Very much. All right, the yellow is dried. Now it's time for the black trim. And this is where I'm going to have the shakiest of hands. There you go. Now all it needs is a little screw, a screw at the top, a coating of something to protect it, and a ribbon. We're good to go. Alright, the final step in finishing these beautiful baby gifts is to attach eye hooks at the top and to attach your ribbon. So I ran out of battery juice as I was completing the girl, so I'll finish up in doing the boy. Now, a couple things that I was saying on when I was doing the girl one is when you go to do your ribbon, you got two pieces of ribbon, one for the hanger and one for the bow. I put the hanger on first, but I don't tie the ends at the top, and the reason for that is some people have plain doorknobs and some people have elaborate doorknobs. And the last thing I want is somebody to get something like this and they have an elaborate doorknob and they got to fiddle with a knot. So I leave that open so that way they can decide that when they get home. Well, there you have it. Two beautiful gifts, one for a boy, one for a girl, that you can easily create by using patterns and basic tools like I showed you. Again, the book is called 201 Woodworking Patterns. It is just completely filled with very easy to use instructions. You can follow them, very, very simple. And like I said, when I first started woodworking, I didn't have a creative bone in my body. And that's why I went to books. I would just find them, start looking through them and say, hey, that looks like I can make something like that. And that's how I started my journey into woodworking. So best of luck to you. So if you like this video, give that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, tap that bell, because there's going to be a lot of more book reviews coming along and a lot more reviews. And also, don't forget to share it with your friends. I need all the help I can get. Until then, stay safe, and stay blessed. This is the Bookworm Woodmakers channel. Take care.